Hi, I'm Jakob, and in today's video we'll discuss 7 ways to improve your skills as a UI designer. Making sure that you're constantly improving your skills is one of the biggest challenges for every designer. In order to make sure that you're delivering the best possible results for the end user, it's vital to keep challenging your practices. But how do you actually go about stepping up your UI design game? To help us answer this question, I'll be joined by 3 UI designers who will share their tips for breaking out of the box and becoming the best UI designer you can be. Roll the intro.
UI design patterns are general reusable solutions to commonly occurring UI design problems. They function as reference points for UI designers, allowing for debate over solutions simply by mentioning the name of a specific pattern. For me, becoming familiar with UI design patterns gave me more efficiency as a designer and gave me a more robust design vocabulary. I love sites such as uipatterns.com and uigarage.com for learning about UI design patterns.
So as a UI designer, it's very important to get to know good UI design and to be able to recognize it instantly. So for me, just surrounding myself with good UI design on a daily basis started to inspire me to improve and diversify my own design practices. So I'd start by just checking sites like Pinterest and Behance and Dribbble every day and getting to know some UI designers that really inspired me and really intrigued me. And I'd reflect on how they use white space, how they use color, how they use typography as well. Then I'd start saving their work, and before I knew it, I'd end up with my very own UI design inspiration library.
As a UI designer, networking is super important. I know this from my own experience. Working from a team, sometimes I feel a little bit isolated. The great thing is if you go to these events, you meet other people in the industry where you can talk about new designs, talk about the future of the industry, and increase your own network. It's definitely an advantage, and I would stress to do that. As a UI designer, I'm often checking the new events which are up and coming. Check Meetup, check some forums, look on Facebook. You're bound to find people in your locality who you can meet and exchange ideas with. It's always a good first reference point.
As designers, it's difficult to share work that isn't completely polished. The prospect of sharing unfinished designs can bring on a bout of anxiety. However, uploading my work regularly shows that I'm engaged and eager to improve. It signals to my community that I'm open to honest feedback, especially if I asked for it directly. Asking for feedback can make you feel incredibly vulnerable, but all the best designers got to where they are today by taking criticism on board. Remember, UI design is about constantly learning and thinking about the user, so it's very important to listen to outside feedback about your work.
So I know that copying people's work has some very negative connotations in the design world. I think that plagiarism is probably every designer's worst nightmare. But as long as you're not putting these designs public and you're not advertising them anywhere, then copying people's work is just a form of reverse engineering. So I like to try and recreate the designs of some of my favorite designers in order to help me improve. And especially if the designs are way outside of my skill level, then it forces me outside of my comfort zone and allows me to practice some different approaches to my work.
When I was starting out as a UI designer, I didn't have a big client base or real-world projects to add to my portfolio. The way I got around this was taking my favorite websites and apps and putting a new spin on it, looking for new solutions or new ideas or features that I could also implement onto existing websites. Another way to do this is also thinking about imaginary projects, creating a project from scratch, taking it through the different stages, and then putting in all the different UI design elements. So my advice to you is to think of new projects, think of new ideas, bring a new spin to websites, and add this also to your portfolio.
When I feel demotivated or isolated as a designer, getting some guidance is important. Someone with many more years of experience in the field can tell me exactly what they do in my shoes or help me to overcome my creative block. I have a trustworthy design mentor who helps me to look at my practice from a different angle, master my craft, and improve my design skills. We meet up regularly over a coffee to go over my latest design projects.
So, whether it's heading to a networking event or simply sharing your work with your community, following one of these tips will have you well on your way to improving and refining your UI design work. What other tips for improving your design skills do you have? Let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.